to Doug Herbert. Doug, you're here in the studio with me to talk to our guest who joins us from Washington. He is the Executive Director of American Oversight, Austin Evers. Hello, thank you very much indeed for your time. Could you start off by telling us a bit more about these emails, and are you confident that all of the professional emails sent from a personal account have surfaced?
Here's what we know right now, is that during 2017, Ivanka Trump made extensive use of her personal email account to conduct government business. What we don't know is what standards she and her personal lawyer, who does not work for the public, used to divide the world into personal emails and official emails when turning them back over to the White House. So we know we have a major predicate for a further investigation. We don't yet know the volume, whether anything was deleted, whether she conveyed any classified information. Those are questions that I hope Congress gets to the bottom of.
And Austin, Doug Herbert here in the studio. This email request, the Freedom of Information Act request, this really is just the tip of the iceberg, scratching the surface here. Your group has filed dozens of these types of requests seeking documents from the Trump administration. Can you give us a sense, going forward, of the types of documents you're seeking, what sort of investigations you would like to see a newly Democratic-controlled House conducting?
I would divide the world up, our investigative world up into two buckets. Number one, we're going to continue pursuing Ivanka Trump's emails to see if we didn't get things before, whether they're ones that we missed, whether there was correspondence with other agencies. And then we're also going to investigate the moment of discovery across the government. What happened when people realized that right under their nose, the president's daughter was engaging in some of the more hypocritical and potentially illegal conduct that you could imagine given the context of this presidency. Meanwhile, I hope that we'll be joined by Congress, which will investigate the content of the messages. They'll be asking questions about whether there's classified information in there, which we as members of the public can't see. So I would describe what's coming next as a multifaceted investigation that I hope hews to the facts, avoid some of the more hyperbolic language of the 2016 campaign, but at least holds people accountable. The president and his family are not above the law.
Right. And you've said that before. I guess what I'm trying to ask you is I'm trying to look beyond just this email story, which I'm not trying to minimize by any means, but there are many other issues that a lot of people would like to see this administration investigated for. So I was asking you, what other aspects of the Trump administration and presidency would you like to see this next House investigate, besides the emails?
Sure, and that's a very good question, and there are a lot of open issues, to be sure. I would start with allegations that the president interfered with the relocation of the FBI headquarters in Washington, D.C., potentially out of fear that a new development in that location would interfere with his personally owned private hotel. I'd also investigate allegations that the White House and the administration were callous and inept when responding to the hurricane in Puerto Rico as compared to how they responded to the hurricanes in Texas. I also think there is a tremendous open sore on America's conscience about how the administration treated migrant families when they crossed the border this summer, separating children from their families and putting them in cages. We really haven't gotten to the bottom of that. American Oversight is investigating those matters using the Freedom of Information Act and litigation, and you can follow that on our website, americanoversight.org. But it's clear from what we're hearing from Congress that anyone who's going to take over a committee that can investigate is going to be investigating one of any number of the laundry list of items that the Trump administration has so far escaped accountability for.
All right, Austin Evers, the Executive Director of American Oversight, thank you very much for your time, and thank you, Doug, for joining me.